Right, the reference letters. You're required to submit at least 2 of these. If you can get 3 or more, that's fantastic. Please do submit all of them. Initially, you're going to scan and email these letters to us. So please try and get the letter in its final format from your referee. You can initially have them scan it, print it, sign it, and scan it to you. And you can email it to us so we can take a look and suggest any necessary edits before you arrange to collect the final original document. Important things are that the letters on a letterhead, on a company letterhead or school letterhead or university letterhead. In some cases, some companies do not permit their managers to write personal reference letters on company stationery. In that case, you simply ask them to write the full letter on a blank piece of paper, and when they hand it to you, they must submit it with their business card. So if they have a business card, it does solve this problem. You just submit them to us as 2 loose items like this. We will then attach it with a staple for final submission. The business card is really just to establish that the person indeed says they are who they say they are, working in that company and holding the position that they hold. Right, let's go through the letter. It must be dated, and the letter cannot be older than 2 years. You can have worked at this company or studied at this university more than 2 years ago, but they must just put the date that they write the letter. They must put that date at the top of the letter. Very important that it's not more than 2 years old. The letter must include your full legal name as it appears in your passport. If it's missing middle names, we're going to have to unfortunately ask you to get your referee to redo it. They must then describe you, your work attributes, your English skills, your interpersonal skills, and conclude saying that in view of all these attributes, they think that you'll be a particularly good conversational English teacher. So they're really looking for some substance. So really you need to ask somebody who knows you quite well. You can actually maybe do a rough draft for them and send it to them as an email, as editable text, to give them some raw material to work with. But it's very important that they add, take away, and make the letter very much their own. So they must start off by describing the context in which they know you. She was my personal assistant. He worked in my department. I was her line supervisor or her department head. Then they need to talk about your motivation, reliability. You're always punctual. You always got your work done on time. You were always prepared when you needed to prepare beforehand for something. Quick learner, friendly, willing to learn, flexible, adaptable. Talk about your interpersonal skills, how well you got on with your manager, your other staff members, clients, and then a bit about your English ability, that you're articulate, good command of the English language, good listener, patient, etc. And then the letter can finish off along the lines of, in view of these above attributes, I'm happy to recommend this person for a position teaching conversational English in South Korea. The letter must finish off with the author's original signature on the page. This mustn't be a printed signature. It must be a pen held in a hand and writing on the paper. Their name, their job title, company details, very important, their contact number and their contact email. If the company doesn't want them to use the company email, it is okay for them to use a private Gmail account. You're going to need 2 of these letters. They don't need to be sealed. They don't need to be apostilled. So initially, we request that you email it through to us for us to have a look and give you the thumbs up. Once we're happy with it, you can then ask or arrange to pick up the original, hand-signed original document from your referee. Right, so we're now going to have a look at a typical contract. This contract is from the EPIC program, has the, Right, let's take a look at the contract that you sign. So with the programs that we work with, your contract will come to you, the original contract will come to you at your home by courier, and you'll be required to sign this and then submit it to the Korean embassy, your closest Korean embassy, in order to get your visa inserted into your passport. So this is what a typical contract looks like. This one is for Gangwon province as part of the EPIC program. Things to note, at the top here it will have a unique code number. This code number is allocated by the Korean Immigration Office in Korea even before the contract reaches you. So essentially it's a pre-approved visa. The embassy is going to reference that number on their computers to confirm that you are an authentic candidate for the EPIC program, and as a result you'll notice that the visa's issued very, very rapidly. Okay, so the contract will have your name. Sometimes they'll just have your first name and your surname. Don't panic if they miss out middle names. And on occasion, it does sometimes happen that they might misspell some aspect of your name, but you don't need to worry.